Let's start.
Good evening and welcome to the Nighttime Heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat. And of course, you're going to watch the show online, either on your Facebook or either on your YouTube, and you're going to enjoy the show. We are also streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. Again, Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We are streaming live as well. If you want to watch the show online, either you do it through Prime FM 105.5, or you can just tap Nighttime Heat, and of course, you're going to follow the show online. Want to share the live video? Kindly share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. And of course, they too can enjoy the discussion. Well, this is a program. In fact, let me have it informed that that makes it unboring. You don't watch the show and you feel boring. No, in fact, when the show comes on, you don't go to bed. You don't sleep until the show ends because every bit of it is very interesting. Well, tonight let's talk about some of the things we'll be. Let me just acquaint you with some of the things we'll be talking about. I'm sure every Melvin Snow of Bowman County, the senator, today apologized, to the rural renewable energy head Samuel Nambwe. And of course, Samuel Nambwe, I understand, also accepted the apology. What does that show? Some say it just shows leadership on the part of Senator Edwin Melvin Snow, but some said maybe he was under, he came under, immense criticism under pressure, and so he had to resign. Well, we're going to talk about that tonight as well. We understand that 7 out of 7 or 8 individuals had been guilty. The court had rendered them guilty for human trafficking, and some 50 years they have to go to jail. What? Can you imagine that? 50 years. We're going to talk about that as well. Well, as a recovery is still on the back of Finda Bono, former protocol officer to former President George Manawiya, recovered again the bond for the second time. I'm going to talk about that. Is this for political reason or what? I'm going to talk about that as well. Well, Phoebe Hospital is still shut down despite the release of the workers and leaders. I understand today they had the release, but the hospital is still shut down. I'm going to bring you some videos from there. The suspended INACR boss, Debster Brown, Councillor Debster Brown, who in fact has written to the Ministry of Justice complaining his colleagues at the INACR for busting into his office. Today, he broke silence. He spoke to the media. We'll try to play you exactly what he has, what he said. We'll bring that to you, and then we all can talk about that as well on the program. What appears to be a war of words between some members of the executives and the Senate continues. We're going to play some video, and yes, some of the executive members throwing tantrums at the Senate, as some members of the Senate. We're going to talk about that today as well on the program. The Honorable War Bowie takes on the legislature. So I call those people honorables. We're going to look at that, whether she got a point there or she doesn't. Let me welcome David Benedictus, Rasmus Namutawa. I'm sure the other panelists will join us later on. Dave, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Sabal. Thank you, Sabal, as usual, and good evening to everyone following us by radio, YouTube, or Facebook. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate you being there, Mr. Koti. I'm sure Mr. David Koti also is on the program tonight. He has joined us as guests panelists. Mr. Koti, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Sabo George.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. We also have, I'm sure, Assistant Minister Henry Yankwe. He should be at one of our guest panelists if all goes well tonight on the program. Well, gentlemen, first let's talk about again. Kindly share the show, share the live video, so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones can also follow what's happening today. Tonight, what's happening tonight on the program. Kindly share the live video. This is the Nighttime Heat, and of course, this program is designed to talk about trending national issues, issues of importance to our country. Now, gentlemen, let me first pull out the apology piece by Melvin Snow, by the senator of Bowman County. Let me pull this out quickly. Senator Snow writes, "This morning I reached out to Mr. Samuel Nangwe and expressed regrets about the statement made to him during yesterday's sitting, and I believe we had a good conversation. I have also addressed a letter to the president pro tempore and my distinguished colleagues, withdrawing those comments I made without recognition by the president of the Senate, in violation of our standing rules. Thanks to Mr. Nangwe and to my colleagues for their magnanimity." Okay, that was Edwin Melvin Snow. There he wrote a letter, like he said, to Mr. Nangwe. Some of the things that Edwin Snow said, in fact, to Mr. Nangwe, that I'm sure all of us heard it. Those comments were very demeaning, disparaging, condemning. But let's read what Mr. Simon Nangwe also wrote. "Dear Senator Edwin Melvin Snow Jr., I herewith acknowledge receipt of your apology extended to me via a telephone call earlier this morning, and the follow-up written apology that you shared on your official Facebook page immediately after we spoke. I also take note of further actions you mentioned in your written apology, including your promise to officially write the Senate pro tempore and your distinguished colleagues of the Senate to officially withdraw your comments. I want to, in this public manner, say thank you for your humility and reaching out to say sorry. I want to say to you that my family and I have accepted your apology, acknowledged and appreciate your promise to officially withdraw your comments from the records on the proceedings of the Liberian Senate. Thank you. In the same vein, let me also take this opportunity to restate my apology to the Honorable Liberian Senate about the comments I made to you and Senator Amara Kone relative to the joint statement posted on social media. Kind regards, Samuel Nangwe." Now, gentlemen, first let me hear from you. Dave, you listened to the two communication, one from Senator Edwin Melvin Snow and Samuel Nangwe, Mr. Samuel Nangwe of the Rural Renewable Energy Agency, also acknowledging and accepting the apology by Senator Snow. What's your reading there?
You said Dave, and we have two Davids on the show.
That's the point. That's the point.
Dave Cote.
Okay, no, David Tagway. Okay.
Okay, all right.
It's okay, David Tagway.
Quite recently, something happened between the director of police and Sama Coker, Senator Sama Coker. And the police director said he was talking loosely. So it reminds me about some Snow's comments yesterday. Reminds me of
I think you're muted. I'm not getting you. So I'm not getting Mr. Tagway.
Mr. Nandi was wrong and Nandi must apologize. But I must commend his tenacity. I mean, his ability to have muster courage, to put aside his pride, to put aside arrogance. To Mr. Nandi. And that should be a lesson to others who are bent on speaking because it's often said that when you point your finger at somebody, the other finger is pointing at you. And the other thing is that his comment when Mr. Nandi was in alcohol. And from what has happened now, the fact that he has apologized, the impression that will create in other people's mind is that perhaps or apparently he was the one that was in alcohol. That he was the one that was drunk. Because it's only drunk who speak the way he spoke yesterday. That's could be an interpretation of all.
No, don't you think? Don't you think the apology by sort of leadership on his part, that others will think that maybe because of the barrage of criticism, he managed to, he decided to apologize.
Well, look, I don't want to use the word leadership. That doesn't in any way show any leadership. You must have apologized in the honor of doers. I must apologize as a result of public pressure. You must apologize because of increasing. So that shouldn't be interpreted as, being a good leader. A good leader wouldn't speak the way he spoke yesterday. So that's just somebody that's spoken out of. Some others say you say emotion. Some others say maybe you have spoken out of drunkenness.
No, not exactly. Let me ask. Take a week, Mr. Cody. You listen to the two communications, the one from Senator Edwin Melvin Snow and the one from Mr. Samuel Nangwe. What's your take there?
First of all, thank you for inviting me for the first time after several months of my not being with you. But I have a small.
Are you off?
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm not getting you from the.
Okay. Now, I'm sure you can. We'll get it. Now,
I'm getting from the radio. Hello.
Yes. Okay. We are getting you now. Initially, we're not hearing you. Now, so I'm asking a question. Do you think, okay, fine. You listen to the two communications, the one from Edwin Melvin Snow and the one from Mr. Simon Nangwe. Nangwe accepting the apology of Snow. What's your take there? What's your reading?
Well, if the apology from Senator Snow is sincere, then I think it's okay. But when I was in Lofa County teaching, I remember 1978. A guy intentionally got drunk. I mean, he didn't really get drunk. He drank liquor, pretended that he was drunk. And his main intention was to disgrace somebody. And then he was pretending to be drunk, liquor smelling on his, but he wasn't really drunk. But he disgraced this guy, a very prominent person, only to go and apologize later on in the night. So, I was not to myself and all this, these things happen. So I hope the apology from Senator Snow is a sincere one. Because the Bible says to err is human. We agree. But sometimes you got to look at the person's track record. I'm sorry to say that some of the lawmakers feel untouchable, and they think they own the people they lead. They can just say anything anytime because they know when you respond, the next thing is we will invite you. So I just hope that the apology is a sincere one. But we've got to look at the track record now to see whether this is something Mr. Snow has been doing from time to time. And the response from Mr. Nabe, I think, is good. That is what we call leadership or responsible person. I mean, I think I like that. But the one from Snow, I'm not too sure whether it's a sincere one. Because nobody, I mean, can convince me that Snow, who has been in the legislature for ever so long, 3 times as representative, and then at the Senate, will not know, and he's a representative of ours to the ECOWAS Parliament. For you to say he did not know what he was doing there at that time, well, it's hard to believe. But if the apology is sincere, then it's okay.
Now, but Mr. David Coty,
yes,
one would think that one would think that I mean, there are individuals who think that the apology by Snow shows some level of leadership, and the fact that he can realize, he can realize what he said that he heard, and he came up to apologize. It just shows some leadership. Do you agree? Do you agree with those people?
I don't want to agree with any leadership talk here fully. As I said from the beginning, we must know whether this apology is sincere. Like some people said, I think Mr. Tagwe just mentioned that. Sometimes when you make a comment, and one thing I like about Facebook, those comments there on the Facebook, after people, like, for example, we are here now, people are making comments about us here, things I want to say here. Maybe the comments on the Facebook page hit him, and he was forced to come and say something. I'm sure. I'm not too sure, but I think these are the things that are happening. But I don't see anybody who has been a lawmaker for more than 20 years who would not be composed, but would tell a responsible man with his wife and family that you are drunk or you drink liquor or something. I don't remember the exact statement, but me, I will never address anybody in that manner. Am I on? Hello? Hello?
Well, honestly speaking, my reading to that is that the senator demonstrated leadership. And so every human being has conscience. When you do something, there's going to come a time where you do sober reflection, and your conscience will tell you that you were in the wrong. And people who acknowledge what they did and come publicly and say, hey, I am sorry. That's good. That's commendable. The senator was never coerced. He would have chosen to be like other arrogant people. People who feel entitled, who think that I don't have to even acknowledge what happened. I am bigger than this person. And so that you will agree, there are a lot of people in Liberia who conduct themselves in such way. They will never say sorry. So when someone comes out, it takes a real courage to do that, especially doing that publicly.
No, but
It is true that what he did was wrong. Yeah, it is true. Let me just say very quickly. It is true that what he did is wrong, but I think he showed leadership. The senator, in terms of ranking, and Samuel, they are not on the same level in terms of political ranking. But he opted to reach out and say, hey, I am sorry. He's a human being. So let's accept that in good faith. What I differ with is the statement from my brother David Tagwe. He said when the senator spoke, he came across as intoxicated, drunk. So where did he derive that from? Can he tell us that this man was drunk? Or he define drunkenness? if he had said that the senator acted in the moment, his action was spontaneous, it was impulsive, then we can reason together. But to say this guy was drunk, I beg
Okay,
to
let me hold you there. Yeah, Dave, you can come quickly.
And so maybe my brother Moses did not get my exact words. I
I think
said,
so. I didn't hear. I didn't hear Tagba saying that.
I said he must have made that statement apparently because apparently he was drunk. That's why he made a statement. Apparently, I was not definitive that he was drunk.
That's
I
right.
said
That's right.
apparently he
All
was
right.
drunk.
Now that let's move forward. Now that this
So,
yeah.
so,
Mhm.
let me just push back. For the man to even mention the word drunk, where did that come from? Apparently, how can he tell us that this guy was in a mood that seems that why he was intoxicated, he was drunk? How can he defend that?
I can defend that. The fact
Yeah,
that,
defend that for
okay,
us.
I can defend that. The fact that someone
Defend it for us.
Namwe appeared
Give
before.
this man the opportunity to defend the word drunkenness and the mood that the senator was in
Yeah.
that made him to use the word he seems to have come across as drunk. Defend that for us.
Yeah. So Moses, you've landed now, right? As I said, Mr. Snow or Senator Snow told someone Namwe that he had alcohol in him that he needed to reduce. So but then at the end of the day, he has apologized. So I said his apology could be interpreted by others who are following this development. He could be interpreted.
yes.
Apparently, he Snow was the one who was drunk. And perhaps out of that drunkenness that he made that kind of statement that he realized and he apologized. I also commended him for his tenacity, for mustering
No, but
the
you say it
courage.
didn't show. You say it doesn't show leadership.
No, I disagree on that one.
Uh-huh.
I disagree on that one. I didn't show leadership. I said for him to have mustered courage and put aside his pride and arrogance, to have apologized, I commended him for that.
Yeah.
So those are my exact words.
So then why were you different when Moses said it showed leadership? Why were you different? Why were you different with Moses?
Well, I don't want to use the word leadership, Saba. The leadership, the word leadership.
One minute.
I cannot ascribe that word leadership to Snow.
Why?
In all fairness, what he did wasn't a sign of leadership. What I can say is that his apology is a sign of courage. Well, now I can use the word leadership, please.
All right, Moses, let's hear.
Hello?
Yeah. No, we're talking about Moses. Moses is on. Yeah.
It is good that Mr. Tagba is trying to walk by his statement. Because what he said, it is unsupported. He doesn't have the evidence to even mention the word drunk. How can he convince anyone in his right frame of mind that the way this man spoke, he seems to have been drunk? Where did he derive that from?
Except you want to go back and forth with this thing, Moses. Yeah, if you encourage this, someone will go back and forth with it.
Mr. Koti, 1 minute. Now, Moses. Tagba is saying that he used the word apparently.
Yeah.
It was not direct that Snow himself was wrong when he spoke those words to Mr. Namwe. He said apparently, but you still pushing back on him.
The pushing back. I'm pushing back that he mentioned the word drunk. I know apparently he was not being definitive. So I'm pushing back to even come to the point of mentioning the word drunk. Where did that come from? What mood was that man in that made Mr. Tagba to come to the point that this guy seems drunk, or he may have seen drunk. Where did that come from?
The mood he was saying.
How did he derive
So
that?
it is the mood that he was in.
Yeah.
It was the mood that he was in that made him to have
Could have been drunk. Yeah, could have been. Yeah.
normal behavior from body language, the way they conduct themselves. The man was speaking. He was never stuttering. He was fluent. He was to the point.
Moses,
you use the word
look,
tongue.
Moses, I'm not going to go back and forth with the thing. I know what I'm talking, and you're not going to how to say here.
Okay,
that's my opinion.
Let me hold it to
That's my opinion. Moses, hold on to yours. Let me hold on to mine.
Mr. Tabwe, hold on. And Moses, hold on. Let me hear from Mr. David Koti quickly.
Mr. Tagwe, I think, Saba, I think Tagwe is a sound man, and he has made it clear. I don't know why Moses is trying to force this thing to make it look like Tagwe does not know what he's saying. He has made it very clear. He said the man could have been. Apparently, he was not definitive. So why must we be going up and down? I myself believe that way. Something could have been wrong somewhere. Like I said, this is a man who has been a senator, a lawmaker for over 20 years. He has wives and children. For you to have been bold enough at a sitting in the Senate to speak to another man, another official government in that manner, something must have been wrong somewhere. It's not ordinary. No,
let's move forward. Let's move forward. And let me begin with you, Mr. Koti, on this. Yes. Does the apology by Senator Snowe, does it take anything away from him?
Does it take anything away from whom? From him?
Yes. We're posting that Snowe is someone who's not consistent. He wavers. I mean, he teeters. He says something and he goes back on his words. Well, you know,
this is what we're saying here
about him.
Look, let me tell you something. When there's trouble between Liberia and Guinea started, with the Guinean soldiers coming on our land, Snowe did that the normal AI thing, putting President Bouaka in military uniform, saying that we are ready, we'll come for our land, all kinds. I don't remember the exact comment. Now, can a senator of this man, somebody who is on the ECOWAS parliament, speak that way? Do that to a nation, to his own president, to his own country? I agree with Tagba. Something must have been wrong to have made Snowe to speak the way he spoke. It was not ordinary. So I agree with you, Tagba. This is a man who is a senator of this country.
Yeah, so the question is, does it take anything away from him? Snowe would have decided to remain mute and say, look, we're in session, and I said that to him because of what he said to the Senate. It's Facebook post created embarrassment for the Senate that we didn't know what we're doing. We're interfering and we're not doing oversight. So Snowe would have decided to just remain quiet and mute. But he said, well, let me come out as a leader to apologize to the man for what I said to him. It doesn't take anything.
Under pressure from Facebook writers. I mean, I don't know much about your thing here, but I'm sure it was under some kind of a pressure. It was not just
let me hold you there. Let's hear from you, Tagwe. Does this apology by Edwin Snowe, does it take anything away from him?
Yes, of course.
What is it?
It's taking something from him. And I mean, he proved to be a coward because
a coward?
A coward, yeah, because it's brave people. Yes, of course, I agree that to urge him to forgive is divine. Mr. Nangwa has agreed to forgive him. But you can't deliberately or intentionally say something publicly against a responsible man, a father, and then in the next few hours, you come out to apologize. He did not even question.
That's a show of leadership.
No leadership, man. No.
What's not leadership? You don't consider to press.
That's not leadership.
So what
you plan to disgrace somebody, and you come back and apologize after say we are stupid. No.
Belittled.
The Liberian people are not stupid.
Hello, Saba.
And then the next
day.
Yeah,
1 minute. I'll call you in 1 minute.
Then the next day, he apologizes and he says it's a sign of leadership. It's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of weakness. It's a sign
what kind of leadership? Leadership where?
They call that leadership. No.
Okay. All right. Let me welcome. Okay, 1 minute. Let me welcome Mr. Edwin Fambule. Edwin, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Saba, and sorry for me not coming in today. I'm not feeling too well. So I decided to join from home. Good evening, Mr. Koti, and to my big brother David Tagwe.
Yes, sir.
Councillor Fambule, thank you. Good to hear your voice.
Yes, good to hear you too, Chief. Well,
I can't control my brother. Anthony,
yes, let me,
Anthony, I'm calling my
No,
counselor.
Mr. Famula, before
yeah.
you come in, let me go back to Moses. Moses, you listen to Tawe. Tawe said, yes, it took something away from Snow. Snow spoke very aggressively. He spoke like a man in session, but at the end of the day, he wavers and he came back on his words. So it just shows that he's a coward, that he couldn't stand by what he said to Mr. Nangwe. Do you agree with Snow? Agree with Tawe?
Mose wouldn't agree with me. You don't expect, obviously.
Before I will respond to that, let me just provide a little bit of education for Mr. Tawe.
Yeah, we provide
Education.
education for a
Yeah,
friend.
no. The only man who been to school. Every day providing education for everybody. That's the only man who went to school.
Mr. Cody, 1 minute, please.
This is always providing education. Where? Okay, we're listening to the education. Go ahead.
Will you allow me to speak, please?
Yeah, but you're always providing education for people.
Honorable Koti,
Can I allow the man to speak, Honorable Cody? Please.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm saying here, I want us to go back to the initial statement by Mr. Tawe. He said the guy seemed intoxicated or drunk. David Tawe, alcohol is a depressant, meaning when someone is under the influence of alcohol, the person lacks the ability to think and act rationally.
Mm-hmm.
So if we agree on that, it defeats you when you said the senator was intentional.
I disagreed.
When someone is intoxicated, the person can never be intentional because the person's ability to think and act as a rational person, that ability is impaired. That's why when you drive under the influence of alcohol, when you are arrested, you become a risk. You get prosecuted because when you are driving under the influence of alcohol, you run the risk of killing people. You will get to the traffic light and run the light. Your ability to think and act is impaired. So this guy cannot be intentional when you say he seems to have been drunk. Now let's come back to the question that Mr. George asked me. The senator's decision to go public and apologize doesn't make him come across as a coward. He come across as a human. We all do make mistakes. And when you make a mistake, you must acknowledge that you made a mistake. And if you have to apologize, you apologize. That doesn't make you a coward. A decision to apologize doesn't take anything away from him. People will say, yes, he demonstrated leadership. He was never coerced. People condemn him. But there are a lot of people who do stuff in Liberia and other parts of the world. They don't care. They don't even acknowledge. And those are people that we consider to be arrogant. People will feel entitled.
Okay. All right, Moses, let me hold you. Moses, let me hold you.
Yeah.
One minute.
Mose,
Mr.
this is the problem I've always have with Moses. He always thinks that he has monopoly over ideas.
Mm-hmm.
This is common reasoning. My reasoning is different from yours. Your logic is different from mine. I stand my ground that Mr. Snow is a coward. It's a coward because something that he courageously, boldly said in the midst of people publicly.
Intentionally said.
That even provoked laughter amongst the senators, belittling Mr. Nangwe. Something I deliberately did and planned that if it happens at the end of the day, I will apologize. And that's what I already disgrace him.
Exactly.
So how genuine is his apology after all?
Okay, let me hold you there.
That's
Let me
my
hold-
concern.
let me hold
That's
there.
my argument.
Let me hold you there and go to Mr. Fambola quickly. Mr. Edwin Fambola, let's hear you on this, on the discussion.
Yes.
We'll have
Yes,
transition.
sir. I followed the debate yesterday religiously, and let me say this. I think the senator allowed the euphoria of the happiness yesterday to get hold of him. He misspoke, irrespective of where he sit. He should have understood that he was talking to another human being. He should have understood that he was talking to another father, another leader who
Yeah.
holds a position in the executive branch of government. You see, over time, I think the Constitution of Liberia has been misused by people who are quote unquote our legislators. There is
Yes.
nowhere in the Constitution that says that you cannot criticize a sitting lawmaker, irrespective of where they find themselves. We all have our fundamental rights, irrespective of you working in the executive branch or you working in the legislature.
Hello?
I can disagree with you, whether you are in the legislature or not.
Off.
For this,
Yeah.
His internet has a
hello?
problem. Okay, now, gentlemen, if he comes on, we're gonna go. We'll still rejoin him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's-
Baba, are you hearing me?
yeah, okay, Mr. Kuti, quickly.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Josh, from the time Snow, Edwin Snow, they think about honorable. I'm not going to go into that tonight with Edwin Snow. From the time Snow put our president in military uniform, when the crisis between us and the Guineans started, I lost all respect for him. All respect. I got no respect for him anymore. One of our leading people in this country at the legislature. In fact, when you talk about the top people at the legislature, Snow is among them.
Mr. Kuti,
Yeah.
that was just intended to spark a bit of laughter.
Oh.
Well, what is wrong
What?
with that? I mean, just about being comical. No, let's go small. Let's put the old man in the military uniform and with this issue. What is wrong with that?
Then something must have been wrong with Snow when he did that. That wasn't the time to make joke. Serious matter to do what? Laughter? Okay, say
Yeah,
what's about laughter. Let me laugh.
1 minute was his 1 minute.
Laughter about what? A serious matter is between our country and another country concerning land. And you want to make a joke like that out of it? Not just a sidewalk person, but one of our leaders, a senator of the country? That guy, Snow, Edwin Snow, I know him. I know him. We come a long way. We haven't done anything wrong to each other, but I know the man. You cannot joke out of a major crisis like that. And I still stand by my word. This guy intentionally, I told you about something that happened in Norfolk County in 1998 when I was teaching there. A guy pretended to be drunk. His plan was to disgrace somebody. He did not really drink to get drunk. Just took a little bit for the liquor, the king juice smell on him. Just to disgrace somebody, go and apologize. The message has gone already. It's like me getting drunk. I want to disgrace somebody in the public. I plan for him, give you a dirty slap in the public.
So,
And I
so what,
pretend
are
to
you,
be
what, are
drunk.
you,
Later on,
what are you insinuating? Is that what Snow did? What are you insinuating?
that's what he did. He knew what he
Okay,
was. He's not a little boy.
Let me
Snow
hold
is
there.
not 20 years old. Yes.
Yeah, let me hold there, Mr. Cody. Mr. Sandy, you can come in.
Yeah, quickly, what I want to tell Mr. Cody is that he's completely off tangent. If he has anything personal with Honorable Snow, that can be addressed later. We're discussing what happened in the session yesterday. Oh, the man said this about the president. He did this. I know him more. We are not interested in that. Let's redirect the discussion to what happened there.
You who make the weed.
The man was intoxicated. Mr. Kuti, how can you prove that?
By his behavior.
Speak, there should be evidence-based. You
But
are
the evidence is there, his behavior.
And that is
Edwin Snow is not a zogo. Edwin Snow is not a zogo.
1 minute. 1 minute. The man's in speech. When he's through.
No, he asked a question. I got the answer. Edwin Snow is not a zogo. He's a sound man. He knows what he's doing intentionally.
With Senator Snow, that can be a whole different show by itself. Let's discuss what happened in that section.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, let's move
I
forward.
think
Let's move
Edwin
forward.
is back.
Mr. Famula, welcome back.
Thank you, Saba.
Okay, so you are in speech. Continue.
Yes, so like I said, I think I do believe that the senator allowed the movement to take hold of him, and irrespective of where he sits as a senator, he should have realized as a national leader that he's under an obligation to respect the right and dignity of everyone who appears before him. He's
Exactly.
saying to another person whom is a man like him that he drinks too much and he do XYZ. I think it was totally wrong,
Yes,
and
exactly.
he realized his mistake and came back to apologize. However, I think like I said, I do strongly believe that uh, people in our legislature nowadays believe that they're so powerful they are beyond reproach, which of course we as citizens of Liberia needs to now start putting a checkpoint, because it's a dangerous thing. So but for a group of people to believe that they are so powerful and that they are beyond reproach. We all have the right to criticize. We all have the right to be criticized and be professional in it. What Mr. Nangbe wrote, I didn't see why the anger came from the senators in that manner. I also listened to Senator McGill saying that, oh, I think they men should, I think they men should be sent to jail. That's completely wrong. That is completely wrong. If you have counter argument to what the man said, allow him to provide his thesis. But you just coming to condemn him and saying, oh, let's send him to jail and let's do this. What you're trying to do is to silence people. Because if you set example on Nangbe today, tomorrow, Sobo Josh and others will be afraid. So we need to need to categorically, say these things that they are wrong. They do not fit in our democracy, and our lawmakers should always be open for criticism, as they are also. They've been doing it to other people. So why not we as citizens and even as government officials be open to criticize them if they take decisions that we believe are not right? They are not God. They are human beings.
Okay, all right, thank you. Let's welcome Mr. George Kennedy. He just joined us quickly. George, welcome to the program. I'm sure you didn't follow the debate. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Saba, good evening. Good evening to all my co-panelists. I'm sorry I couldn't be on at this time because tonight because I got some other schedules that were actually completed with this.
Yeah.
However, I'm following the show, even though the signal can be sometimes breaking. But I have something to say about against any attempt by any panelist or anyone trying to cover up for the behavior of some of the lawmakers. Not all. That's why we don't want to say the legislature. They are not above reproach. If I want to say something maybe will be shocking to a lot of people tonight. The executive branch is headed by the president. Everyone appointed by the president in the executive branch indirectly enjoy the benefits of the votes that the president got as president of the country during the election. So you say if you elected, you should be respected as honorable, so you have the freedom of speech. To say anything at will to anybody in the executive, you are missing it, because they're from different branches of government. Respect is due to who respect themselves. If you go in session, even though the law protects you from saying anything you want to say that cannot be held against you, or votes that you take that cannot be held against you, and you use that session, you disrespect someone in the executive, that person equally has a right to respond. If you go on Spoon TV or any other radio station, you use profanities, you wrongfully malign the characters of people from the executive, definitely the executive branch will respond to you. Those will respond to you.
Exactly.
If
you
say they constitute what we call contempt. Contempt can be challenged in court. Article 44, due process will have to be met. If you say contempt, you have to prove what constitutes contempt in that case. If you verbally say the person is drunk and the person tell you, say, oh, you like this too, then you get angry, you say that content charge can be challenged.
All right, so Mr. Kennedy,
Yeah.
let's move forward, and let me start with you on this one so that we can transition quickly. Now, Mr. Edwin Snow has apologized for Senator Edwin Snow has apologized for comments he made against Mr. Simon Nambwe. And Mr. Simon Nambwe, in return, also has accepted the apology. But Mr. Simon Nambwe is expected to appear before the Senate at 12 o'clock on Tuesday along with his lawyer to state as to why he should not be held in contempt. So that's a separate case. Now, with the apology of Senator Snow, do you think that has calmed the nerves at the Senate? Do you think Mr. Nambwe will be given a reprieve? There'll be no punishment meted against him? Let's hear from you.
Definitely, the Senate, in my opinion, will be seen as a house of elders, the real house of elders, if at all they decide to like this particular sleeping dog lives. Because if they want to go after Mr. Simon Nambwe, and the allegation is because he said this is not an oversight, this is interference. How by someone saying that how to call it, impugn the work of the legislature? You have to prove it. So they will see that smart people, lawyers that we talk to them, definitely they're going to settle it because they don't want crisis with the executive. That's why I said on the show yesterday that this is hurting democracy. And it's going to pass by, it's going to teach you guys lesson, and they're going to behave properly going forward. The man will go with his lawyer. In fact, in his post today, Mr. Nambwe also extended his apology to the Senate under that post. Maybe someone didn't read to the ending. He said he also...
No, we read it.
Yeah, he apologized. So that's good. That is a very good beginning. He apologized in the Senate when he appeared, and he continued with his apology on his Facebook page. That for me, I'm enjoying the process.
So in your conclusion, you suggest that the Senate just drop whatever charges or whatever issues they have against Mr. Simon Nambwe, right?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Okay. All right, let's go you there. Mr. Tambo, what do you think?
Yeah, I think his apology, Nambwe's apology to the legislators or the senators, to be specific, I think it weakens their, I assume it weakens their resolve. Whatever action they must have planned to take against Mr. Nambwe, nothing, they would think otherwise. The fact that he accepted Snow's apology, they should also accept Mr. Nambwe's apology. So the problem is solved right there. So the best thing they can do is to let sleep in the law.
No, the gravity of his crime is not as compared to what said.
You call that crime?
Yeah, if he's being held in contempt,
what you call contempt?
The gravity of what he did. Granted, now, one minute. The gravity of what he did, it's different from what Snow said to him.
Well, I don't know what
his action brought the Senate in public dispute.
I don't know what skill you're using to weigh the two actions.
When you look at a body, I'm coming out. When you look at a whole body in the Senate and say, look, what people are doing is just interference. It's not oversight. You telling them directly or indirectly that they don't know what they are doing.
Is it wrong to tell somebody that they don't know what they're doing when you are right?
It's an insult. You know that?
You call that? Yeah. If somebody.
Okay, let me hold you.
Wait. You don't come scare me here. Yeah, no one scares me on the show. The first thing is that the belated Mr. Nambwe, Snow belated Mr. Nambwe.
No, but Snow and Mr. Nambwe case is
the same senators. No, let me learn. The same senators sat there. They did not reprimand a man, Snow, right there. Say, my man, no, don't talk to the man like that. And Snow went with impunity until he himself realized to apologize. They were the ones supposed to have reprimanded Snow right there. So, Mr. Snow, wait, Mr. Nambwe is incorrect. Try to calm down. If they had done that, that would have been a demonstration of leadership on the part of the House of Elders.
Now, Mr. David Koti, or Honorable David Coty,
Yes.
once in the legislature before. Do you think the Senate now needs to just forget about what action
Your
they...
line is cracking.
Do you think this...
Your line is cracking.
Mr. Coty?
See, a line is cracking, I think, something like that.
Mr. Coty, are you getting me now?
Yeah, I'm getting you now.
Okay, now, should the Senate still continue? Should the Senate continue with its disagreement with Mr. Nangbe, or should they drop it, the fact that one of their colleagues had apologized and just to allow Sleeping Dog to lie? Do you think?
Yeah, I think the apology from Mr. Nangbe is very sincere. And I also think that the Senate should take some action against Mr. Snow if they want things to be straightened up in that place. And sometimes we hate to say this. I was there before. Sometimes the behavior of some of our people at the legislature can make people think they don't really know what to do. There's bigotry. There's feeling of I don't want to use the word indispensability. They know they're not indispensable. There's feeling about they can't do anything to me. You can just do anything you want. You're the only one who can hold people in contempt. Somebody got to put it to you and tell you you don't know what you're doing. Look, I think it should let Sleeping Dog lie. What the Senate should do, either they should punish Edwin Snow for insulting another family man, another man who works for the executive, or they just let Sleeping Dog lie. Edwin Snow should be punished for what he did. To call another man in the executive.
Let me hold you there, Mr. Coty. Mr. Fambule, what do you think?
Well, Sober, the framework of the constitutions, which included my late father, Ambassador Henry Bremer Fambule Sr., were very clear as to what constitutes legislative contempt. So using the word legislative contempt to be able to bring somebody, thinking that you're going to send them to jail or you're going to ask the executives to actually take them out of the job, to me, I don't see it as something that they should even pursue. Because Mr. Nangbe post was his opinion that he was expressing based on what he sees as oversight. Therefore, I don't think the Senate should even obtain a motion on the floor to actually have any contempt proceeding against Mr. Nangbe, because whatever he wrote does not constitute contempt. So I think the Senate should just let it pass, because if they try to even just argue that, it could actually bring the Senate to more public disrepute than what it is now.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Let's try to transition quickly. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat. This is a weekend edition of the program. This is only the boring talk show at night. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat, and of course, go to watch the show online. Besides, we are also streaming live on Pram FM, Morovia 105.5. We want you to share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. Share the live video, kindly. Now, gentlemen, let's try to transition. The Asset Recovery has again filed an action against former protocol officer or chief of protocol, Finda Bondo, this time questioning the sufficiency, the validity of a bond that she filed. This is not the first, this is the second. Gentlemen, what is it that the Asset Recovery is trying to achieve? Because if you listen to some folks outside of government, some political pundits, they're arguing that this is all about politics. And because this woman filed a previous bond, and now again, the Asset Recovery challenged. Later on, she filed another bond. They are now challenging and now even asking the court that she be remanded at the Morovia Central Prison until the bond can be sufficient where she could come out of prison. Let's begin with you on this one, Anthony and Law, Fambula, who have learned the law. Let's hear you. Is this in line with the law? Is what the asset recovery is doing is something that's backed by law? The fact that on 2 occasions the asset recovery has challenged the bond.
Well, yes, certainly it is part of our legal jurisprudence. Every party has that right to challenge the surety provided by the parties. So at this point in time, if at all the prosecution believes that whatever surety or bond that is being presented by the defendant does not meet the value as it is with the action at bar, definitely they have the right to challenge said surety, and they can challenge it as many times as that bond is been filed. The law calls for that. So I don't see anything wrong, in what is happening. I don't see what people trying to believe that, oh, this is meant to just send Madam Bondo to jail or so. This is the legal process, and definitely they just have to avail themselves to it. I do strongly believe if the defendant want to move with this matter forward, they should now be looking for a better surety so that when they come back to the court, it wouldn't be challenged by the prosecution team. But this is actually the what the law calls for.
Okay, now Josh, let's hear you on this one, Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm here.
Let's hear you on this. The asset recovery is again challenging the bond filed by Finda Bondo. And yes, like our colleague just said, it's backed by law. But in other quarters, you hear people saying, well, this is just intended to see Finda Bondo being imprisoned, and it is just political. What do you think?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say, Finda is my auntie traditionally. We from Lofa, she's my auntie traditionally. I respect her a lot because she's my auntie. But what is before the law? Everyone needs to respect the law. She's before the law, and the law says she should file the what? Valid bond. All right. If the bond is not valid, the prosecution has a right to challenge that bond as many times as it can until that bond can be valid. That's what the law says. I'm not a lawyer, but at least to my little knowledge, that's what I know. So you saw that the first bond that was filed, the prosecution challenged it. It later turned to be defective. They gave on the 2 hours. Now there's only 2 hours has passed. There's another bond. The prosecution said that bond is also defective. The judge going to hear it, hear their defense and see as to whether that bond is actually valid or defective. So this is part of the normal legal process. Politicians need to stay away from the legal proceedings when matters are before the court, because if we the politicians go and just be speculating, it has a propensity to undermine the judicial system.
Oh, okay. Well, it's gone off. Okay.
Nothing will come.
Yes, go ahead, quickly.
Of the judge. So it's dangerous for us to actually interfere in judicial matter. What we should be doing is call for what we call fair and transparent trial in line with laws. And that's why I stand on this matter. I think that the prosecution has the authority, the rights under the law to challenge the bond, and also the defense has the right to go also in court to defend the bond that they brought. If all the judge rules anyway, if they say that the bond is defective, they definitely will give time again to the defense to go find another bond. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's hear from Moses on this one as well. Moses has called the other line. Yes, Moses, we've transitioned. I'm sure you might have heard that the asset recovery is seeking Finda Bondo's imprisonment because the second bond filed has has been deemed or declared insufficient in the wisdom of the asset recovery. And this is the second time that the asset recovery has question for bond. Let's hear from you on this one, Moses.
Well, it's part of the legal process. I think what is unfolding is something that everyone should appreciate. I was speaking to you. I would like to see people held accountable. However, this is my concern. Law enforcement in Liberia holding people accountable in our country should not be on the basis of who you know. We should not be selective. You see the trend of this case here. This lady has gone to court several times, and every time there's a challenge. But let's look at the ruling administration. We see this administration aggressively going after people from the CDC. But the very administration is looking the other way when it comes to prosecuting people with character problems, people who are reportedly engaged in acts of dishonesty in the country. We are prosecuting former officials of the CDC for reported acts of corruption, at the same time refusing to even talk about what is happening in FOIA. Don't you see contradiction here? Don't we have multiple cases that are pending? Courts. Cases associated with people from the Unity Party? Are we not cherry picking?
Someone, can I get information, please?
Okay. Just hold the line, Moses. Moses, hold the line, and your colleague George Kennedy wants to come in with information. George, you can go ahead.
You see, Mr. Sunday is very good at contradicting the topic, or when he'd like to call people to the topic, then when he comes, he contradicts the topic on a discussion. And this thing is strongly, I mean, people, the public listening to you, Mr. Sunday, I always told you this. This is the matter in court. People fighting over bond. But you're going to matters that is not in court. It's not before a judge. What a contradiction. What a refined contradiction. Then you talk about Unity Party. What is it about political party business in this matter that you want to politicize the legal matter? Why always you good at contradicting and trying to defame an institution that is in power, trying to link it with corruption when you have no evidence? You will say FOIA project. Has the FOIA project been completed and dedicated, and all the government entities, the anti-government institution, anti-graft institution tell you, say, oh, they don't know about it? Why would you be doing this to the show?
Okay. All right, you made your point. Moses, you can come back quickly.
Yeah, let me just clarify something. George, I like what you said, but you just contradicted yourself.
No contradiction.
Sometimes it's good to run, but when you speak, it's good to really take time and tell the people what you're talking about. We're talking about legal issues in the country. We're talking about the fight against dishonesty in the country. And I say we have what? Contradictions. Let me take you to the very agency of government that is prosecuting FINA and the others. The Asset Recovery Task Force. Why you think others appointed to the very task force walk away? Did they not walk away because they accuse the chair of what? Being dishonest? So if the chair has integrity problem, the the chair has invited a problem. Is
So
this
you-
again not supposed to be prosecuting people on the allegations of dishonesty?
You know what your contradiction is, Mr.
No, please, 1 minute, Mr. George. Mr. Kennedy, 1 minute.
Listen,
Yeah.
you were speaking of contradiction and trying to hold your feet to the fire. You're going after people from the CDC. When Martin Cody and the others raised a concern about the integrity of the task force, has the president ever taken that contradiction? Do you have cases in court against people from the Unity Party, and these cases remain unheard, while the administration is aggressively going after people from the CDC? Don't you see contradiction here?
So
When you fail to account for public funds, at the same time you're going after other people on allegation of dishonesty, don't you see contradiction, George?
you
Okay.
thank you for the question.
All right,
Thank you for the-
no, George. Let me hear from.
He asked me, right? He asked me, don't you see contradiction? No, there is no contradiction. When the president suspended people and the LACC took them to court, including from LTA in this government, from LRRC in this government, suspended a lot of government officials, even from the LACRA and other institutions of government, and submitted them to LACC. Some of them got cleared, some of the public officials that got cleared, some of them in court. I know the apologies from the CDC that you backing, they don't see that as a government prosecuting its own. But when you say Finabono, you want to be passionate to appeal to your base on this show while we are here, to appeal to your base that you're advocating for them. This is not journalism. It's direct contradiction to
So,
reality.
are you insinuating that Moses has a base?
Let me deal with this situation, please.
Just give
Please, let me deal with this
No,
situation.
somebody
No,
come and
please,
encourage it.
gentlemen,
You come and encourage it back and
Gentlemen,
forth.
we have to
with
hear
one
from
thing.
Tabo and the rest of the panelists.
Yeah, okay, but we're not allowing Mr.
Yeah.
Sani to sharpen his opposition contradiction on this
Please
show.
let Moses Sani and why he was saying so can go to Tabo and others.
Where again? Go to Tabo then because he asked me, I responded to the question. You go back to him, he says when he never come back again. So if he shows that he wants
Yeah,
to declare
so
that
that
we're
should be
going to
between
go to
Moses
the
and Kennedy.
show.
All right, Moses, that hold you there. Moses, that hold you there for a few minutes.
I just wanted to make a clarification because whenever we come on the show, Mr. Kennedy has habit of making unfounded claims. Oh, you're supporting the CDC. You're supporting the CDC. Mr. Kennedy, publicly, how can you prove that I'm supporting the CDC?
Very good. Okay, let me prove it. Your utterances and your position on issue are one. And moreover, you're always looking at people reaching apologies, this and that. Is that why you're scared to hear when you're supporting the poor publicly on the show? Who on this show or listening to you also that I don't know that you are.
So Kennedy, let me ask you, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy, let me ask you, if someone takes a position that does not favor the administration, are you insinuating? Are you saying that the person is either a sedition or from another political party? Is that why you believe?
Okay, so being an opposition does not mean that you're a member of a political party. Let me put that other education very clear today. Membership of a political party is done by registration and giving you membership form, you fill and other thing. So coming on the show and speaking like you are independent and you are not, and contradicting yourself and comparing on like issues can make people to understand what your role is.
Okay, let me hold you there. Dave. No, one minute, Mr. Sandy. Mr. Sandy, 1 minute. Let me hear from the other panelists. Dave, let's hear from you.
You know, when people take a stance, and that stance seems baseless in terms of proving what they say. You listen to Moses. You listen to Moses. The government is aggressively pursuing in court cases against opposition from the CDC. But he was not specific as to how many United Party people are in court who have cases in court that the government is not aggressively pursuing. You know, if you're making a kind of insinuation, you just be specific. And this show is not about somebody's for CDC or United Party.
No.
It's about looking at the issues objectively. But once people are deviating and someone encourages it, that is wrong.
Because
the fact of the matter is that the man is talking. You're comparing an apple with breadfruit. You're talking about a matter in court, a Fundabodo's case. Moses bringing about the project in Lofa that is not even in court. Doesn't make sense. It's baseless. Totally baseless, and you encourage it, Sabo. So it's wasting our time. It's wasting our time. You're wasting our time.
Moses is arguing. I'm coming 1 minute. Moses is arguing that look, it's good to go after people who have corrupted the system. The CDC, the United Party believes Fundabodo and others should go to court for their action that they carry out during their days in government, which is good, and you commended that. Equally so, he said, there appears to be cherry picking because there are officials of this government or people of this government who are currently in court, but they are not being aggressively pursued.
So what two or three officials that are in court?
So
what crime have they committed and which court are they in?
1 minute, comrade. You want to draw me in, you want to accuse me. Every time you always accusing me. I don't know for what reason. But let me go to Mr. David Coty quickly. Mr. Coty, let's hear you. I'm coming 1 minute, Sandy.
When I was coming from the United States in 2005, a Liberian called Dwe sat by me, left his seat and came to my seat and sat by me and asked me a question. He said, Honorable, what do you think is our problem in Liberia? Why is it that we are so backward and we're so rich? I said the leadership, the leaders of our country are the problem. He said, I have a different view. I said, what's your view? He said, the leadership or the leaders of the country are not the problem. The main problems are the voters. He was saying that to say, if we don't encourage our leaders to do the wrong thing and back them for every wrong, they will not continue. If you're not a cow owner, when the chief is calling cow owners to a meeting, and you don't even own a goat, don't go there. In other words, people who know about the law are doing the right thing. Whether they do it 1,000 times, the right thing must be done. Who are you to say they are wrong in doing it? You're not a lawyer. I think only a man like Kwambala can go against it.
Mr. Coty, did Moses say it's wrong? He didn't say that it's wrong.
Indirectly, he said it's wrong. He tried to say, the guy think he's smart. I'm coming.
No.
The guy think he's smart. He supported it first. Am I on?
Yes,
okay. Now listen to what he's saying.
Please,
you're not getting me?
Yeah, go ahead. No. Mr. Kennedy, you are not asked to speak. You are not asked to speak. Mr. Coty is his speech. Mr. Coty, go ahead.
It's true.
Now,
no, Mr. Sandy. Everybody listen to him.
Go ahead, Mr. Coty.
Can you imagine Moses Sandy is saying that this government is not doing anything about people from the ruling party? Hey man, my brother, something wrong somewhere, man. You got to change this behavior. This government has suspended and dismissed a lot of people from the Unity Party. One of those people is the former chairman of Unity Party, Abimoda, many of them. But your government was, the whole corruption thing was an institution. From the top to the ground, everybody inside. So who could punish who? So the real problem we have here is this. The people. Take for example, let me close on this one and give other people a chance. I have known people who were worse than useless in this country for many years, for decades, who could not even pay rent. Today they are millionaires. How they became millionaires? Just from
Mr. Kennedy, you have to go far from the noise. We're hearing noise in the back. You have to go far from the noise, please. Yeah, Mr. Yeah, Mr. Cody, go ahead.
People in this country, many of them that we know, were worse than useless for many years. Nothing. They could hardly pay rent. $10 rent, they could hardly pay. Selling cobalt. But by the time they got into government for 6 years, buildings all over, trucks all over, buses all over, they own cars, they own buildings. They got huge bank accounts in Liberia and abroad. Instead of all of us, including Moses, praying to God that these people come to book and make sure that what they did was wrong so that it does not continue, we're trying to beg them. You're giving a scenario that is quite different from what we're talking about. What is all that for? The court is aggressively pursuing. What proof you got?
Okay.
I don't know which part of America you are.
You spoke on Mr. Koti. Moses, let's hear you so we can transition quickly.
I was talking about why you want to be on this.
Oh, Famo, I thought you started the discussion.
I thought.
No,
No,
we
no,
started. We started.
Okay, go ahead, Chief. Go ahead.
I'll come back to you. But we started with him.
You will come back to us.
Yeah, look,
No, there's noise to your back there. I'm not going to come back to you. There's noise.
What a noise. I'm in a very quiet place.
All right, go ahead, Moses. Moses, go ahead.
okay, yeah.
Or you
I
want to
listened
deny me?
to the former Representative David Koti and the other just start.
Moses is low. Let him speak louder.
No, I think it's under breaking.
Koti allow me to speak.
Okay, clear now.
No, you were low. You were low.
That's what I want to understand. That's what they call he who comes to equity must come with what? Clean hand. My brother family is a lawyer. He's here. And he understands what I'm talking about. If I'm going to go after Mr. Silver George because I say he's dishonest, our soul should be able to be what? Above the fray. I should not be engaged in any acts that question my integrity. That's what I'm saying here. When you have an administration with insiders that have integrity and they pretend to be going after other people.
Moses had to die. They may have to die.
That's being selected.
Wait, what a minute, Dad.
Please, Mr. Koti, please give the man chance, Mr. Koti.
I said Moses had to die, my brother. They may have to die.
I understand where you come from.
Moses, go ahead.
From the administration, so I understand where you're coming from.
Oh, he's claiming attention?
Of course he is. David Koti, he wavers. He stands for nothing. So I want you to do it.
Don't be personal now, Moses. You have to
speak to educated Nigerians who understand that this administration is a problem. It's undertaking a major project. Here's the task force. It's a recovery. They call it the task force working day because the accusation of crime and the leadership is yet to report them. I'll see that you're going after other people. Are you not contradicting yourself? And I hear all these apologies. Oh, you don't even come to the CDC. Is he not signed it?
So let me progress.
Okay, thank you, Moses. Let's go to Mr. Famula quickly. Mr. Famula, let's hear your thought.
So let me say this. The issue of surety or bail bond is a constitutional issue. Article 21D is clear on the issue of bail bond. And it's very clear. If I can read on it, it says all accused persons shall be bailable upon their personal recognizance or by sufficient surety. The word sufficient. Therefore, anything outside of that before the court will even put the judge at risk with the law if he just accept any bill or any surety because he or she doesn't want to be seen as being political or so. So, like I said earlier, what is happening at the court is backed by law, and there's nothing to contradict that. On the allegations that Mr. Moses Sandy is putting forward, let me say this: the court does not go out there looking for cases. So, if another government comes into power, or if Mr. Moses Sandy, as a Liberian citizen, believe that the FOIA project was done illegally, or there is something that he believed that was done wrongly, there's something called the Whistleblower Act. You can come up, provide such evidence, and take the government to court. But every now and then, when you come, you want to pinpoint to the FOIA project and other people. I know people from this government who were sent to court, and they won the case. The issue with Abdullah Kamara, you know, and there have been a lot of other people. If people make allegations against individual, like you said from the Arab, allegations are not facts. Allegations are just people's opinion. So until you go to court before a judge and prove that your allegations are fact, backed by evidence, and then the country look a blind side, then you have a point. But as it is, I don't think why we should be jumping here and there. We're talking about what is happening at the court, be it what if somebody was working for CDC. The end of the day, the law backs what is happening. There is nothing outside of the ambience of the law that is happening right now. Everything is backed by law.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Let's try now to transition quickly.
Oh, no, you didn't hear from me.
No. You and Moses went back and forth on this. We're not going to continue with that. No, we have to transition. We have to transition.
Man, get a man 1 minute, my man. Get a man 1 minute.
For the good of the public.
Now we're begging somebody for minutes now.
It's good. I'm going to speak in complete, simple English. The government of Liberia sued Finabono to quote ever since. Finabono ran away from Liberia. She went into Azar with a firing bomb. When she came back in the country, the first thing she did was to run to the court to go fire bomb. Her case was in when she fired the bomb, how the government of Liberia to the after recovery went by and said that bomb you brought here is not correct. According in line with law. The asset recovery went there and won that case against FINA that bomb was defective. They gave FINA 72 hours to bring another bomb because FINA want to be free until the case on the docket, until the case ready for trial. The case is not in trial yet. The judge not ready to hear the merit of the case here. So when FINA filed the next bond, the government, the asset recovery went by and said the first bond was not correct. Even the one is not correct again, in line with law. That's where this matter is. So other cases are on the docket and they are scheduled for trial. FINA wants to be free and walking around, but her bond not correct yet until the judge can say it's correct. That's what's going on. So it doesn't mean that the government is against the opposition. That what made the government trying their opposition.
Okay.
Exactly.
I think you concluded.
Beautiful, simple English. Yes.
Concluded. Now, gentlemen, we still being wrapped up into the issues that are popping up between some members of the Senate and some members of the executive. Yesterday, or day before yesterday, the Director General of the Liberia Broadcasting System and one of his colleagues appeared on the state broadcaster and said a couple of things about some members of the Senate. I want us to listen to them. We have the video. And the reason why it's troubling that people who were confirmed, were nominated, and sent to a particular body for confirmation for those people now to be going against that body is troubling. One could say, well, I'm not going against the entire Senate. I'm going against a particular person. But if you brought that person into public disrepute, you are bringing the entire Senate into public disrepute, which some members of the executive do not know. So let's listen to this video and talk about this more.
No one. Senators are meant to do their jobs, and we are meant to support. 3 separate arms of government, and the 4th arm of government is the one where we are: media, journalists, 4th estate. Now, these powers are entrenched in the Constitution. This is where it's trickish, and this is where it's so plain. When you want to do your job for the people of Liberia, do without fear or favor.
Let me ask quickly.
Especially when you have been elected.
Let me ask quickly. But is it true that members of the executive are bent on attacking members of the Senate? Let's lay history.
Members, you say, not the Senate.
Some members of the Senate.
Good. Any member of the Senate that declares war on the executive declares war on the people of Liberia. And one example is Edwin Melvin Snow. He declared war on the people of Liberia, and I can state instances.
By what means?
First of all, an Edwin Melvin Snow went ahead and said, I wish, and I'm going to work towards a one-term government of President Joseph Newman Boakai. If you're going to work against it, it means that a sitting government is 6 years. When you're working against it, you are a saboteur, and you shouldn't be in government. That's one. We are sitting in Abuja to elect a new ECOWAS chairman. Edwin Melvin Snow goes on air and says, I have a fatal information that the new chairman will be the Senegalese president. He got a bamboozling return. It became the Sierra Leonean president. Edwin Melvin Snow has a clout for negative energy, but when he's about to be dealt with by the people who he's attacking in the executive, he runs under the umbrella of the whole Senate to be able to get protected. Hey, we are Liberians, we know the law. And there is no way you will con one and think the other one will not learn. A con is a con. It's the same community that the people of Monserrado caught that allowed him to run to bombing. And the people of bombing are becoming wiser. Now, joining with my friend and brother Amara Kone is one thing. It is quite clear. There is a clear order to have a caucus, to have a clique, a syndicate. It's being built within every strata and strata of the society to see how Edwin Melvin Snow can execute his one-term agenda. Unfortunately, strategy and wisdom lies on the other side. And it is a caveat call that, for instance, because a Sam Nangbe addressed him and his cohort, they took it to the floor of the Senate to make it a Senate matter. We will not go there with them. We will deal with the issue on Snow, who has never worked before in his life, who has consistently been able from one marriage to the other to gain relevance and cash, has found himself in government in a transitional period that's worse than anything. Record shows that nobody has stolen like Snow. And I bet him to challenge it in the competent court of law. Now, when you have this kind of person in government who is in the opposition, his only main goal is to achieve that naivety of negative energy, to try and be treacherous, to pull down a government. But Snow is absolutely wrong. And to all those who want to join him, they are absolutely on the wrong side of the Liberian people. They will get the caveat they're looking for.
Okay, Chris, thank you. I'll go to DJG. Your man has set the stage.
Thank you. And you know what? Let me say this first and foremost. I have a copy of the Liberian Constitution right here before me. So I'm not the person that will come and debate issues without giving you facts. One of the things I want to bring to your attention is to draw your attention to Article 44. which is very clear, and Article 42, which is also very clear, that members of the legislature shall be privileged from what they say or the actions to carry out in the Senate chambers, which means a specific locality. It's clear in the chambers.
Anything outside the chamber.
Anything outside the chambers is fair game. Now, the second thing in the chamber, it says that they will not be held accountable for what they say or do in that chamber. Here is the law, Article 42, right here. Meaning, again, it is what? Specific to the what? To the chamber. But nowhere in that law that it says that you cannot be criticized, you cannot be questioned by your constituents, you cannot be called by your constituents to ask you, why did you vote this way? Or to query you on your actions, or to criticize you
On your statement.
on your statement. Nowhere in that law it says you will be privileged. Now, since we have a particular locality where you enjoy the privilege and the protection of the law, let's look at Edwin Melvin Snow. He called on OKFM and said law enforcement knows the exact house that the drugs were stored in, and that members of the first family have offices in that building. Does it mean they are guilty? Let's look at Edwin Melvin Snow again. He called on Spoon FM, and I'm quoting him. He said he's disappointed in Stanton and what they see because he had provided them photographs of
and
people
and
they didn't show it. It was at that point that what they see said, well, I think Snow is right. Put up the vice president picture. The vice president is not only a member of the executive branch of government, but he's the president of the Liberian Senate, and he presides. If you had issue with your colleague, you could have discussed it there. But you cannot come outside and attack members of the executives outside of the chambers and don't expect us to respond. And when we respond, like a child running to its parents, the senator then runs under the canopy, as my friend and brother said, of the legislature and say, call them here, they are attacking us. Senator Amara Kone, whom I have great respect for, we have a regional body. We are from Bapolu, Bomi, and Kitma. We are from the Western region. Senator Snow and Senator Amara Kone goes outside, issue a joint statement on the...
Correct. I'll let you hear what sort of English. Two persons say goes outside. It's troubling, man. Yeah, seriously. No. We got people, our kids are listening to the radio. We don't want to allow someone who doesn't know English to appear on the radio. Yeah, that way. Go out those days.
Yes,
the message Senator Snow and Senator Connor, they say goes.
That was a slip of tongue. That was a slip of tongue, Saba.
Director General of the Labour Broadcasting.
That was a slip of tongue. He's human.
No, listen to me.
He's human, Saba.
No, you have the time to speak. You have the time. Listen, go at the days we allow our kids to be miseducated, wrongly educated. Now, who government appeared on the state broadcast. My president ever says for a state broadcaster to be used for that purpose. Because you want to attack a senator, a sitting senator, forgetting to know that this is the man that confirmed his votes were part of votes that confirmed you. You forgetting to know that this man, what he says is more powerful than what you are. At the end of the day, you forget to know that you can even your position can be sacrificed by the president, because the president depends on that August body to sign a couple of concessions for him. So if you can speak the English word for which you want to attack a senator, speak it well. But you can't come out on the radio and say two individuals goes. On what basis? Now, let's hear from you, Moses Sani. Please, now your time. Let's hear from Moses. Everybody will speak on this. I'll come back. Moses, let's hear you. You heard the Director General of the Labor Broadcast System, the first time ever. And on this is the reason why people can say, oh, we say this because we know it. There was propaganda around here. George Weah didn't know book. But that didn't happen when we were at the Labor Broadcasting System. That was set on the radio to denigrate, to say all sort of things against a sitting senator. We didn't do that. The 2 years I served in the Weah's administration, I never saw it. In fact, I was the one taking care of the radio. I was supervising people going on the radio.
Congratulations.
So I will not allow people to get on the air and tarnish the reputation of any government officials, least to mention a sitting senator. I didn't see that happening. So it's troubling. That didn't happen under a man who didn't know book. Under his regime.
So are you
the same broadcast when I use for the matter?
Can I come
in?
No,
please, no. Moses is coming in. The same broadcast when I use for the matter.
So when will you learn now?
No, come in.
Time is running,
Moses, no, that's like you are not keeping the time.
Time is running.
You are not keeping the time. You are not a lead presenter. I'm the lead. I'll come back to you.
Moses, take to my mouth.
Thank you so much.
Moses is on, please.
Yeah, thank you so much for underscoring the importance of LBS.
The importance of LBS.
LBS was set up primarily to help foster peace and unity, propagate government messages. Those who do not know the reason why LBC was set up, propagate government messages, consolidate the peace. That's the role of LBS. And we have LBS today under the leadership of Mr. Eugene Fagon. I don't want to be condescending. Someone who has the capability to comprehend what LBS is about. And he using LBS as a medium to drive a wedge amongst the people. That's sad. This is not what President Joseph Yuma Boakai promised the people of Liberia. They said they came to what? Rescue the country. When you rescue, what do? You resuscitate in times of crisis. You put back on track. You don't take off track. And that's what we see happening in the country. People going off track on doing all the good things. Is that what ELBC is about? Now let's go to the other gentleman. I don't know his name, but he's the chair of I think the tourism sector. I listened to this man, gentleman. I was appalled. Let me just recap some of the things that he said against Senator Edwin Snow. He said the senator is focused. In fact, he said the senator declared war on Liberia. How can he validate that? How can he substantiate that? The senator made a statement. He said he wants Boakai administration to be a one-term administration. Does that equate to declaring war? It is my understanding that this guy is a former military president. Does he understand what it means to declare war? When you declare war, isn't that an upheaval? Targeted at destroying him alive?
The man was being metaphorical, Moses. He's not
wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's being metaphorical. He's not wrong.
Way it's not your turn to speak.
No, but you can't say the method of killing people.
My brother, yeah, let's just keep it like that. Allow me, let me complete my thought.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
So let's recap some of the things this man said. He said the senator has a clout for negative energy. Again, if the senator called a man into the Senate, He sat on the radio. The film material, the draw, how can you justify the same apologists will go on social media again and start what? Insulting the senator? Don't tell me about the cloud of energy. Where is that coming from? He referred to the senator as a con artist, meaning that this guy is a dishonest person. How can he authenticate that? Does he have the evidence? Or he just speaking loosely? He said, no, is working on building a syndicate. Does he know the meaning of the word syndicate?
How are you keeping the time, Saba?
Syndicate in this sense, he's telling us that this man is working on bringing a group of people together with a fundamental objective of committing a crime in Liberia. If the senator calls him in tomorrow and says, look, how can you prove that I'm a syndicate? Does he have the evidence? He said the senator exploits women. He said the guy is a pimp. He takes advantage of women. Again, Mr. Chairman, if you were called to the Senate tomorrow, will you be able to prove all these allegations? And lastly, he said the senator has no history of work. All of you guys live in Liberia, sober. Will you agree with anyone to say that Miss Senator Snow has no history of work? Is he not a one-time managing director of the LPRC? And you have somebody in government, in the executive, using the state broadcaster to vilify him like that, humiliate him publicly. Is that the kind of country we want?
Okay, Moses, let me hold you there. Moses.
Thank you.
Dave, let's hear you.
I'd like to start with your opening statement regarding this matter, that because the senators were the one that confirmed the Director General, the guy who from the cultural division of the Ministry of Information, wherever he comes from. So that the fact that the Senate confirms the person shouldn't be critical of the Senate. That's why you're suggesting. That's the impression you created. That because someone went to the Senate
just
and you was
speak your
confirmed.
mind. Don't talk about the impression I created.
Yeah.
Or
no.
Speak to what you want to speak to.
So I disagree with that one. I disagree that because one is confirmed.
Initially, you say you have problem. What I cut off the
I will come to that. Don't rush.
You see,
I will come to that. You come to eat my time.
Go ahead.
You come to eat my time. I will come to that. What I'm saying is that it's wrong. It's wrong to say that because the Senate are the one that confirm people. The senators are the one that confirm people, so no one should be critical of them, even if they are wrong. That's why you are saying. And the other thing is, you prematurely called off Mr. Fagon because he had a slip of tongue.
Because you spoke on wrong English. That's slip of tongue.
Saba.
No, that's slip of tongue. I'm not going to allow my late brother home to listen to somebody speaking wrong English like that. And I got on the radio.
That man is a Gola man. You're a crewman. He's not a British man. He's not an American.
Oh, so the man.
So
why can you speak
he can have even those who have.
The English is not an issue now. The English is not an issue.
Well, it's something why you call a man off. You make the man look stupid in the eyes of the public that he doesn't know English.
No, he doesn't say that on the radio here. No, you can say Senator Snow and Senator Amakone goes for what, man? I can't allow you to say that on the radio here. You know how many kids are listening to us here? They usually step broadcaster. It's sad, man.
And Saba,
go ahead.
These are two gentlemen who got on the radio and discuss and talk about Edwin Snow as a person. Their comments did not cast aspersion on the entire legislature or the Senate. They talk about Snow as a person, as an individual. They individualized Mr. Snow in their conversation they had on ELBC. So what is the issue of the Senate inviting them? That mean we mean the Senate is less basic, doing nothing but to start summoning people, even when they're talking outside. Even whatever people talk doesn't concern the Senate in its entirety. They're talking about Edwin Snow as a person. They're looking at Edwin Snow's lifestyle, his work history. That's what they're looking at. If Edwin Snow feels offended, the Senate is not a court. Yes, I understand. I mean, it's some quasi court or whatever they call it.
No, you don't understand.
So the thing is that if Snow feels offended by the comments made against him by Onanunga, I hope I get his name correct.
You know the name because I have people.
That's the name. Onanunga.
Onanunga, Mr. Onanunga, and the Director General of the Liberal Broadcasting System, whatever they said, if Snow feels offended, Snow go to court. And the Liberal Broadcasting System is not only a platform to propagate government policies or promote government programs. It's a platform that the same government, the executive, the legislature, the judiciary can also use.
That way I'm disappointed in you.
Why would you be disappointed in me?
It just shows that.
Let me learn. You can't. No. Let me learn. No.
You're not going to learn.
Let me learn. But then you're being unfair.
So encourage.
No, I'm not encouraging that. Give me.
What's the training What's the training you receive? To allow people to use a state radio to denigrate other people?
Sabo.
Is that what the state radio was created for? Or set up for?
Sabo.
I'm disappointed.
No, Sabo, yeah. Sabo, I'm not compelling you to accept what I'm saying. So I accept your disappointment. I'm not here to please Sabo George. I'm looking at the issues. That platform, that Liberal Broadcasting System was not established only to propagate government, but I to work at a Liberal Broadcasting System. And you know that. So
how do you feel? How do you feel? Listen to the man you call, you say you don't even know it's not Onanunga. How do you feel if you were in the same shoes? Somebody appears on the state broadcaster and says Tagba is a con artist. Tagba has no work history. Tagba is a criminal. Tagba amassed wealth that he didn't get directly. How do you feel? You seen a step? Is that what LBS was created for? You were there. You were there. You took training from LBS. Tagba, you going to support that? For going is calling to use a state broadcaster.
They've done nothing wrong. Even if Snow wants to go on a scene radio, they would allow him to sit there and talk.
I beg you, man. Let me leave you there. Let me go to Mr. David Kuti.
Thank you. I reserve all comments on this particular topic. Thank you.
I know, because you are always taking you got a radio program on LBS. So anytime you if election decision, let's hear. Yeah, but that's the reality.
I reserve all comments.
Who that instigating?
So anything he says here, but one can just call the paper off.
You can say anything you want to say.
It's a family. Do you want to have a take on this?
Yes, Sobo. Let me say this. You know, Sobo, let's be realistic here. I think this thing is getting out of hand, irrespective of the eye we're seeing it from. And I think the president needs to call members of the executive to let them know that, look, I've not sanctioned anyone to go out there and start attacking lawmakers or whoever as to what they say against me. Our duty is to perform for the Liberian people, and they will be the judge come 2029. I followed the statement from Mr. Onanunga and Honorable Fagon, and I strongly condemn those statements. Look, Senator Snow is a politician, irrespective of where he sits. He has unapologetically said in this country that he's a friend of former President Weah, and he would prefer former President Weah coming back to power. So whatever statement that Senator Snow will make in Parliament or outside of that Parliament would not be in support of the Joseph Boakai government. And we have to accept that as facts. We have to be able to be civil enough to respond to him as people who support President Boakai. We have to be civil enough to interact and preach the ideas of the government that will actually attract the people if President Boakai is going for a second term. all this issue of verbal assault and insult, that's not the way forward. And I do believe that Chris Onanunga and Fagon should focus more on doing their jobs rather than trying to think that he can fight an Edwin Snow, whom, of course, is not going after them, he's going after their boss. You know, for me, I don't see the necessity in doing this. And this thing, like I said, is becoming a continual trend. Every other week, somebody will go on the radio, wants to challenge the authority of somebody in the Senate. The other one, the other people take the podium, insulting the other person. I don't think this is what we want. President Bouaka is doing his best as we speak. The old man is he's in Turkey. He met with President Roger Toy Erdogan 2 days ago, trying to see what the good that he can bring for the Liberian people. And I think that should be what Fagon and others should be propagating on the state radio, rather than trying to flex muscles and think that they are here to fight Edwin Snow or not. That's all I have to say for this
Thank
part.
you very much, Edwin. And you spoke like a broadcaster on like Tagba who doesn't even know the importance of the state broadcaster. He aligned put a Fagon in order to appear on the state broadcaster and denigrate other people, berate people. Then he said that yeah, it's true, it's right. Tagba, I'm disappointed in you. Yeah, Moses, let's hear you so I can open the last quickly.
You're not listening
But
to
David
my
okay, let me take this caller quickly. One of our contributor from the US. Let me take it quickly, and then Moses, you can come back on. And let's hear you. Your name and where you calling from, please, quickly.
Good evening, Soba and the rest of the founders. My name is Alfred Mando, and I call from Brisbane, Iceland.
Okay.
So basically, multiple issues you guys have deliberated on, but I'd like to speak to this issue regarding the LBS Director General and the Director General for the Tourism Authority.
Okay.
Now, like yesterday I mentioned, the issue regarding the Senate and Mr. Nangwe was just issued about opinion. Mr. Nangwe's statement, as expressed or posted on Facebook, was an opinion. It wasn't a fact, so the Senate had no authority going after Mr. Nangwe. Now, on the basis of law, you can see the reason why Senator Snow apologized. Now, I think for me, that issue has been brushed aside. Now, with the issue of the Director General of the LBS and the Tourism Authority, it's a reverse of that situation. Despite the fact Article 15C of the Constitution guarantees the right to freedom of expression, you regularly mentioned that the interview was conducted on the Liberian broadcasting system, meaning that the individuals who were participating in the interview were all public officials. Now, in that case, the public is perceiving those individuals are in the official capacity. And Edwin is on the panel. He will tell you exactly what that means. It means that you have to consider as to whether that official capacity they have versus the personal opinion. Now, when you appear in an official capacity, as in the case of the Director General of the LBS, it means that you have a duty of care. And that duty of care was breached in this case by both the Director General of LBS and...
Oh, my people, we're not taking calls now. Yes, go ahead, Chief. Go ahead. Some local calls coming in. Go ahead.
Yeah, so as I mentioned,
oh man, my people, we are not taking calls and we'll take calls later on.
In that interview, there was a breach of their duties. Now, when you look at duty of care, it says that all public officials have a duty of care, and that duty of care is a fundamental principle in administrative law. For example, they have a duty to act honestly in good faith with a proper purpose. They have a duty in relation to that very position they occupy, and they have a duty in relation to the information they provide to the public for consumption. Now, where the Director General of LBS and the Director General of the National Territorial Authority is making flimsy allegations, that's a breach of duty of care. And I think the President of the Republic should sanction them because of that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We really appreciate your input. Thank you very much. Well, okay. Shortly, I'll take calls briefly. I'll take a few calls. Let's hear from Moses quickly on this, and then we can take a few calls. Dave,
Yes.
Okay, Moses, let's hear you quickly on this.
I missed out on that actually. Which one are we talking about?
No, we're
right
talking
now?
about the LBS and the Director General of the LBS of the Director General of LBS and his colleague Houston State broadcaster. We just received a call from one of our contributor from the US, and he frowned on that. He said that was totally against what they ought to do.
I definitely agree with the caller. Like we say, I think LBS wasn't set up for those kinds of stuff, not to divide people, not to shame people, and to have the director. We're not even talking about a regular announcer, but the program was headed by the Director General. I mean, can you imagine that, Sober? The most senior person in the entity, sitting on the radio, listening to another official of government, shaming and embarrassing a lawmaker, making wild claims, unsupported claims. That's not what LBS is about.
Okay.
And I hope President Boyka will begin to take some corrective measures, because I think things are actually getting out of control in the country.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me just take a few calls quickly. 0776-540-987. Again, 0776-540-987. This is just an alternative line. Please don't call this line after this program. It's just an alternative line to allow you to make a point quickly on the program. Let's hear you.
So, how are you doing? This is Lasana from District 17.
Let's hear you, Mr. Simon. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Soba and I call Mr. Kennedy with the old man, Koti. How you doing? Gentlemen, you're doing well for us. But let me tell you something. My brother, y'all take Mr. Sandy from that show. Mr. Sandy are the people that were benefiting from CDC. Every story he bring out is CDC. We gave you 6 years. You're never prosecuted from the United Party government. Today, your government has stole from our country. The people are going after them. When they bring it out, then you leave it, you go to local country. Who you know that you got proof on that you can't bring, you say that in America, then you be talking about a thing on the radio. You are the people that make people never voted CDC. From today upward, me and Marky, I remember you. The day you put your phone in like I talk about.
Why you want to threaten me, man? Man, it's about
all the radio stations for you. Those are the bad people that were supporting the CDC to steal. They were making plenty of money from all our countries.
Let a man spread his views. Let a man spread his views.
You made a point. Moses Sandy has never associated with the CDC. I know.
But let a man spread his view.
Moses Sandy even voted for the Unity Party.
You were there when the mayor voted.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a.
Yeah, but let a man spread his view. Don't call them.
540-987. Again, 0776-540-987. We just take a few calls quickly, and then we can do our parting comment. 0776-540-987. That's the number to call, and you are live right here on the nighttime heat. Well, Tawe, quickly, let's hear from you. We need all the time already.
The time is already exhausted. I'd just like to say thank you, Saboding. Thanks to our many followers and listeners. And let me say good night to my fellow panelists, Moses, Edwin, and Josh, wherever they are. I'd like to say good night to AB2, who is handling our technical activities here. Good night, everyone.
Okay, Mr. Koti, let's hear you.
Let me thank you once again for the invitation to be here tonight, and I hope I can always find time to come. And thanks to all of the panelists, I think it was a healthy discussion. This is why it's called a nighttime heat. It's not a church time heat. We don't do holy prayer here. We heat up the place. So thank you very much to all of you, and goodbye.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Famole.
Yes, thank you, Saba, and I want to say a big thank you to our big brother, Mr. Koti, Mr. David, Tagwe, the rest of the crew. Look, I just want for our people to actually realize that this is not about party. Mr. Mr. Moses Sandy in the United States has repeatedly said that he canvassed for President Boakai, he voted. He has his right to his opinion. So let us not blame him as a sedition or against the state. We all are human beings. We can agree to disagree. That's what democracy is about. Good night. See you on Monday.
Thank you. And thanks to all of you who've been following the program online and also following the program by radio. Well, join us. That is on Monday for another fascinating edition of the program. Like we said, we'll continue to say the state broadcast is not where you used to denigrate other people. You know, that station was created for a particular purpose, to help promote tout government's policy. That's your work. And not to sit on the radio and say a lot. And it's good that some of us who were serving there, we use that opportunity to host for 2 hours the current president, Joseph Yuma Boakai. At the time, he was a political leader. So that's the extent that we open the state broadcaster to the opposition. We open it to the opposition. That credit is for us who were there at the time, and the director general as well. And I was serving as deputy for media services. That was my role, to open the station. And I opened the station to the current president, Joseph Yuma Boakai, the ambassador. So please, when you are at the state broadcaster, do the best you can, operating, in line with the mandate of LBS, and not to do anything contrary. You can sit on the radio and denigrate sitting senator or any official of your kind. Don't do that, Fargo and the rest of the team. Until then, Sober George is my name. Have a pleasant day.